Alrighty, guys. I wanted to break down the entire map of Unholy Catacombs, the Incursion. So I realize there's a lot of people who don't fully know, I guess, every attribute of the map. So felt like making a guide might be a good idea. So here we go. What I use is, or the people I use will be the Squire, Huntress, Monk, and the EV2. EV2 is basically going to be the buff beams, and I'll show you the proton beams. The Monk's going to be the buff boosts, or the buff auras, and the Serenity auras that I'll be putting down there as well. And the Huntress is going to be the PDT since, well, they're PDTs. Who doesn't have them anymore? And the Squire will be the training dummies. I put them here purely because of Quibbly. Quibbly is extremely fast, and unless you have a lot of defense health, or at least a pretty sizable amount, higher than mine, in defense health on your PDTs, he's going to kill it in about 2 shots. And for him to get from there to about, I think he can hit it from about here. I mean, look, that's pretty quick. So I put the training dummies there. He focuses that. Even if you have like normal level 6 or 700 gear on your warrior for defense health, it's not gonna die and it's gonna save your PDT. This is like my ultimate lazy AFK mode if I'm doing this. So I like to keep it there. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that besides me, but I'm extremely lazy and I would prefer the map to just solo itself because I have like 20 characters to farm for, so I've done this map a lot. Oh yes. The only thing else I gotta add, because this is gonna basically be a replica on each side, is the green. Since this one's gonna have harder mobs, I'm gonna upgrade that PDT to 3, and the other two will be I guess tier 3. But these two will be tier 3, and the one with the lane with the harder mobs is gonna be tier 4. At least on the first lane, or the first round. If you're looking purely for the build, I wouldn't say much. You're not going to need to know much more, basically, besides the first one. I mean, as soon as you see the first side build, it's almost all the same. The only thing difference is on this side. I'm going to do one less proton beam, and I'll show you why. What's that, like here? That should do it. Alright. This is my public game build. I'm gonna put dummies also around the crystal, because people love to go and sit on their Squire and act like they're DPS and fight shit. And then 20 bombers come out and they don't kill any of them because they do no damage, and they all get pissed off because they are damaged. And you know what they do? They kill him instantly, and then the rest of them go, ah, and they run straight into your crystal. So, put the dummies here if you're doing public, because people don't listen, first of all. And secondly, defenses aren't perfect I mean, a bomber could slip past, regardless, even if you're soloing it. I mean, I'm literally building this to go AFK. Like, you don't have to do shit besides round 6 on 7. And that's just to do the swords. So, it looks like, yeah, my build's done, so. I'm just gonna play the Dryad because actually I need an armor piece for her. So, yeah, this map is going to solo itself besides upgrading the PDTs. That's basically the only thing you're gonna need to do. I mean, your defenses are gonna kill that Quibbly I was previously talking about, and they're not gonna die just because you're gonna have the dummies in front. I mean, if you don't believe me, or you just want to build it without, feel free. I mean, I get away with it most of the time, but sometimes RNG just doesn't love you. And those freeze procs that you're supposed to get on your protons, since he's gonna run from here to here, or here, like, through the middle, you know, that's gonna hit him like frickin', like, at least 10 times, you would figure it would proc, but, you know, sometimes RNG is just not a friend of yours, so, and it doesn't, so he just goes, run up, boom, boom, dead, kills your PDT, and then you gotta worry about this lane. It's not a fun thing. I mean, if you're farming it, I guess it gets your blood going, you know? Because, like I said, I kind of just AFK farm this map. My defenses just do everything for me. Yeah, round 2, you literally should be able to max your PDTs. Okay, yep, see, 367. And I already have those 2 max, and boom. With like, what is this, like 30 something. You won't need to touch your defenses at this point. You might need to upgrade this one, or repair. I mean, you can do either or. You're gonna have the frickin' mana for it, because you don't have to do anything else, and you have 5 more rounds to collect mana on. I've found that upgrading the buff beams and the boost aura, I don't know why, oh, frickin' Guild Wars. That's why I keep calling it banner. But the boost aura, like, upgrading them, it's not a very sizable increase. The massive increase is just having them there in the first place. Like, I want to say my PDT damage without the buffs is around like 80 something-ish K. And it's sitting at 122 with tier 1 banner and buff beam. So, yeah, I just don't feel like it's worth upgrading. I mean, you're gonna have a shitload of mana to spend. Like, you're gonna max out your proton beams if you feel like upgrading those. Like, I literally just, like, if I'm just bored, you know, I'll upgrade them just because, you know, but you don't need to. The only thing you might need to do is repair them. I mean, the extra damage is nice. I mean, I'll always say extra damage is always better than not. The damage you're gonna get from upgrading the proton beams is gonna far outscale upgrading the buff beam or the boost aura. It just, maybe I can show you. What is this, tier 2? Yeah. Alright, we're at 18,862 on tier 2. Let's just see how much it jumps. 18, 862, 23, so 5, like 4,500-ish. I mean, just rounding. And we got 122k on the PDTs. Let's do the boost aura. Jump to K, 1,000-ish poison damage. Alright, and let's do the boost aura. Okay, again, 122k, 123k. See what I'm saying? Like, why trade? It's the same amount of mana. You can jump 1,000 on the poison damage, or you can jump 4,500 by upgrading the, proton beams once. That's a no-brainer. That's more than quadruple the damage. So, I mean, in all honesty, again, you won't need to. I never upgrade the proton beams. I never upgrade the buff beams. I never upgrade the boost auras. I never upgrade the training dummies. I literally just level my PDTs and I go right up here and I AFK. I'll go and watch Flash. That's a big, show I'm watching right now, so I'll go and watch Flash and just wait for the round to finish. It'll solo the bosses, the ogres. It'll solo Quibbly. It'll solo. I can't remember that dude's name. I want to say it's like Gridlock or something, but that dude, skeletons, plaguing hulks. You may need to pay attention to the skeleton if it spawns in round like 3 to like 5. I think 5 is a stretch. I think I'm pretty sure your defenses will kill it in those 3 turns. But usually if I see a skeleton spawn that, that early on, I just go ahead and, make sure I pay attention to it, because I've had, I don't know how many games I could have won where, I just did a public game and, I pretty much get pompous. I'm like, oh, look, my PDTs are max, like, whatevs. And, I'm just like, hey, guys, AFK till round 6. And, a skeleton will spawn in, like, frickin' round 3. And, yeah, your damage might be extremely high, but if he moves from here to, like, here, and then wave 4, he moves to, like, here, and then wave 5, he moves to here, he's out of PDT range. That shit ain't gonna hit him. Now he's going do, and he's just gonna destroy your crystal. And everybody's kind of in that lax mode now, because you're like, oh, it's cool, bro, like, map will solo itself, They're not paying attention. So, good game, basically. That skeleton's just gonna walk right the hell up to your crystal and just one-shot it, and it feels bad. I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten extremely salty over it because I didn't understand why, I figured, I'm like, oh, you guys should be fucking doing something, and then I'm like, well, I did tell them literally at the beginning of the match, like, just upgrade the PDTs and you can AFK. Like, I'll say that verbatim. So, but, nothing's perfect. I mean, what I have now just covers a lot of bases. You got the slows from the Serenity Aura, blah. You got the freeze from the proton beams. You got the passive damage from the PDT. And you have the training dummies, around the crystal to make sure no bombers decide to just fuck your shit up. To be completely honest, I normally would just not put these 3 here these training dummies, and I would just throw a volcano right here. I'm trying to stem away from the lava mentor because a lot of people I've been playing with, they haven't bought them. And, you know, I figured obviously if the people I'm playing with haven't bought them, that means the people who are watching this probably hasn't bought them either, so, or at least a good percentage of them, so, you know, I figured it would be nice to give you a viable build instead of you saying, oh, well, fuck, he's got a volcano, you know? Because that's what I would say if I, you know, that's what I did say when I originally started playing and I was trying to find out how to build. You know, I'd see people have like EV and have the proton beams and shit, and I'm like, well, fuck me. Round 6 and round 7, you only need to clear the first Spectre. If you follow this build. Or similar one. As long as basically minions or anything doesn't pass this point, you're gonna only need to kill the first Spectre on round 6 and 7. As you saw, round 1 and 5, I didn't need to touch any Spectres. Yeah, they will hit your crystal because they do. I mean, if you don't kill them, they do, but they're not gonna kill it. Or at least not if you at least kill one of them. There's not going to be enough time. They do 500 damage every like 2 seconds or something, and you got 17,500, so it takes quite a bit for it to tick. See, look, he just started hitting it, and we got 7 minions left, and they're basically all going to die right now. Boom, yeah, dead. Later. And yeah, see, I max out all my proton beams. They're really going to be the only effective ones to upgrade. Like I said, if you just want to do, like, if you're going and fighting shit, especially like if you do a gold farming build on anybody, to say the least, and you get a shitload of gold by killing things, I mean, shit, why the hell not upgrade things since you're playing? You're like, oh, you know, the round's done, go ahead and just fucking upgrade your shit. And then just go back to killing stuff. But, I mean, it's never gonna hurt to upgrade things. I mean, you can be that guy and upgrade the Serenity Auras. I feel bad if, no, I don't feel bad if you're that guy. You're a bad person. I don't... I'm not a fan of you if you upgrade Serenity Auras over the Proton Beams, over the PDTs. Like, why? Why are you in Nightmare 4 if you think that's a good idea? That does irk the shit out of me. Like, at no point has Serenity Auras been OP because they've been upgraded. Ever. Never ever. No. No. Repairing them? Yes. Absolutely. If you're just sitting there AFKing in the Serenity Aura like a douchebag, then feel free to repair them since you're sitting there and wasting their durability. But for the love of God, don't upgrade them unless you literally have nothing else to spend your frickin' mana on. Holy shit, I just realized you don't even need to do any... You don't even need to do the knights. No, maybe. I don't know, we'll see right now. So I just cleared one. Nah, I wouldn't chance losing on the 7th. If you want to experiment, you know, that's up to you. I'm not gonna do it because I want this chess piece. Also, if you're doing a public game, given your build, it would be generous of you to go ahead and sell these pieces off because they're in the way of the fucking chess. And it's annoying to sit there and try to open it when there's a bunch of shit in your way. It's just like, oh, do you want to inspect this? It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do, thanks. Alright, man. That's the guide. Any questions, feel free to message me on YouTube. There's my in-game name. Feel free, you can add me. You can add me on Skype. Or if you just have questions, feel free to message me. I'm pretty easygoing. I mean, I might tear into you if you upgrade Serenity auras, but you kind of deserve it. You're an asshole. Alright, take it easy, guys. Good luck farming.